Yeah, it's
It's not
part of the field of philosophy of language, and the concept itself without language is nothing. It's hard to imagine another way to that, because even animals has let's say a kind of a language. It's not the same for humans, but uh, animals have a communication with the environment or with peers in the same species in the it's in the field of biology. In the we are able to um, let's say categorize concepts from the world to understand the world by using signals in the signals in form of let's say audio signals and the visual signals and the through touch like Rowley in the I see that um, it's hard to imagine, but it's we are able to think about your thinking through language. And it's something which Chomsky said a lot in his books about the limitations of knowledge be limited by our language. It's like the same thing to Wittgenstein said the same thing. And for example, about the Bible, Bible try to describe as the religious experience, which it's not possible to bring everything in the text. And it's a kind of a mystery because philosophy itself works with language, and that's like I don't know, Ouroboros, let's say.
In my view, all fields, even scientific, is like a knowledge. Our apprehension of the word is not itself the word. Use knowledge, and knowledge can more or less approximate of the real word. Some language are difficult to grasp, not because they are impossible, because they are incorrect, because the subject is very far from our comprehension. We have a size, for example. We are less than a mountain and greater than an insect. And our comprehension is the same, because our comprehension compared to the animals is far beyond them. But when you compare it to the real world, we don't know how we know. And even with our limited knowledge, we know that our ignorance is far more than our perceptions. So we don't know how we don't know. So our ignorance is observed not only in the scientific or any endeavor, but in our own language. So because that is very difficult to talk about God in the Christian perspective, for example, because in the Orthodox view, God is the creator of the universe, but not only that, but the creator of the existence, the maintainer of the existence. So he has ability to create, not like humans, because he created from nothing, from 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 scratch, and he, in my comprehension, beyond time and space. So the law of physics is not applied to him. And when you see theologians talk about God, they use analogies. For example, God rise or God descend from heaven. That's a knowledge, because heaven is not in our head or in a sky. It's in another perspective view, because the word is irrelevant in terms of direction. Because when you see a people talking, for example, they are below you in a perspective way, because in another they are ahead and they are above you. So in a human perspective, anything is limited. Our body, our language, our perception, and the same is for our cognition and language. For God, we can think, if they exist, that they are infinite in comprehension and possibility. I don't know how I talk about that, because we were talking about language, but for me, any subject is approximation of reality. Of course, I'm a great fan of science, but I don't think science is true, because science is changing, and they are limited because we are limited. Limited by our perception, our theories, and our assumptions, because another great amount of theories are based on faith on some actions. That's not saying that it is false, but the entire proving, because you base your knowledge in something that you can't prove. Even though you can prove everything, that's a fallacy, because it's tautology. You are proving your knowledge based on your knowledge you are proving. So that's a contradiction. In any perspective, it doesn't matter how your view about the human perception, the human nature or theology, we can agree that the human cognition or human knowledge or language is in some kind limited by our environment and our senses, because we cannot apprehend reality in a full sense. The door of perceptions, like the mystic said, is existent in our nature. I think that is not to say that we don't need to understand or to improve our knowledge. That's only see how we are miserable and insignificant in the scale of the reality. We are only a dot in comprehension, not in size.